I'm George Curtis. Welcome to It's Your Environment. Each week, it's my privilege to bring guests that share this environment with us and have a little extra expertise that most of us don't have, help us to understand what we can do about our environment, make it better, protect it, and what we've done to it and mistakes we don't want to repeat. This year, we're having a real Wisconsin winter. I'm sure that's not news to you. I happen to love it. I moved here from Florida, coming back after having been raised in Wisconsin, where we were used to in northern Wisconsin, having a lot of snow activities, snowshoeing, skiing, and ice fishing, chasing what we called swamp rabbits, were really snowshoe hares, I guess. We thought winter was a wonderful, wonderful time in Wisconsin, and it still is. Some things have changed. Of course, for many of us who fish, boat, canoe, and hunt in the fall, it becomes the banquet season, and so we see how much weight we can put on in the winter, attending feasts for Ducks Unlimited, Otter Street, Conservation Club, Pheasants Forever, and Whitetails and other organizations, and talk about outdoor activities. But a lot of people are doing and enjoying the fact that we have 4 seasons, and this is perhaps the most beautiful one. With those activities, however, are new challenges, new threats, and new ways to hurt ourselves. So let's talk to some people today who can give us some ideas of how to enjoy safely the opportunities we have in this Wisconsin winter. Our first guest is April Dombrowski. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Well, you're dressed like a game warden, so I bet you are one.
That's correct.
If you come to our hunting camp, will you be dressed like that, or will you be dressed in some kind of concealment?
Most likely, this would be the traditional attire.
I think that most people don't appreciate how competitive it is to become a warden in the state of Wisconsin. How many people want that job, and how hard they have to study, and how well they have to do academically in order to get the job. Tell us a little bit about your preparation.
Sure. At a fairly young age, I knew that I wanted to become a conservation warden. So after high school, obviously, I attended UW-Stevens Point, majoring in natural resource management with a minor in environmental law enforcement. 4 years later, graduating with a Bachelor of Science degree.
And when you applied for the job, lots of other people had the same idea.
That's correct.
In fact, I read the statistics, and I suppose they vary from year to year, but it seemed to me last time I checked about 1 out of 10 or 1 out of a dozen even get up to bat. It's a high number of applicants.
Sure.
So we got the best and the brightest right here, right now, don't we, April?
Cream of the crop.
Okay. This time of the year, we have some particular concerns with all of the people who are enjoying the fact we have snow, and they have machines that help them enjoy the snow. And yet I've been reading in the papers that we're having a lot of accidents, and many of them are serious accidents. In fact, more than a dozen fatalities already this year on snowmobiles alone.
Correct.
Tell us a little bit about the safety factors with snowmobiles.
Well, with snowmobiles, what we've had so far in Wisconsin is we have 13 fatalities. Last year at this time, we had 9 fatalities. These fatalities are in relation to speed, alcohol, and then collision with either fixed objects or other snowmobiles out on the trails.
These machines go pretty fast.
They do.
They're getting more powerful and faster all the time. Are there any limitations on who can operate them? Age limitations, size, weight limitations?
There's not necessarily limitations like that, so to speak. Granted that if you're at the age of 12, you need to have snowmobile safety education to go out and operate a snowmobile by yourself out on the public trail system. And then as far as the size of the machine, there's no legal requirements with that. So those machines, we all know they're big and powerful. And what we teach our students in our classes is to try to obviously not go past their capability of operating a snowmobile, so to stay within their limits.
Are there some limits as to where you can take these snowmobiles?
As far as the trail system, the frozen bodies of water, a number of our trail systems run through private property, crop fields, things like that. So there's a wide variety of, the wooded area where you may have some blind curves and spots. As far as terrain, you could have hills, open fields, and then obviously your open bodies of water. So it really does vary depending on where you're snowmobiling in the state of Wisconsin.
Well, for many people, it's a social experience, and so it's not unusual to be driving out in the country and all of a sudden seeing a series of lights going across the woods or the fields nearby. And if you're overtired or you've had a beer or two, you wonder what you're coming on. And then, of course, they have to cross the road at some point.
Correct. Yeah, and roadway crossings, especially now with the amount of snow that we have, a number of our snowbanks are now a little bit higher than maybe what we've seen in the past. So like we teach our students is when you come to those trail crossings, always try to cross, at a 90-degree angle, look both ways, make sure you stop your machine and take that look, because obviously the helmet can provide some blind spots, so you really have to take that look for oncoming traffic before crossing the road.
I like that word, helmet. A helmet is just as important in a snowmobile as it is on a motorcycle, isn't it?
Correct.
All right. Any particular advice to people as to how they can enjoy the sport, not hurt anybody?
Basically, riding within your limits. If you're riding with a group, which we traditionally do, we ride with our friends and families, and it's a family experience. If you're the leader of that group, it's your responsibility to only go as fast as the minimum level of capability or experience that's in your group. The worst thing we'd want to have is somebody that's trying to catch up to the leader that's now riding beyond their capabilities, and then something bad happens.
And then, of course, there's a rumor that in this state some people drink when they go out and recreate. I'd never seen any evidence of that. It's probably a lot more dangerous to drink and snowmobile than it is to drink and drive your automobile, which we know is dangerous.
Yep. And what we recommend is obviously if you're going to have a beverage or two, save it for after the ride when the snowmobiles are put away for the evening.
Are there classes for people who want to do it but want to do it safely and wouldn't go into anything else that's dangerous without preparation?
Sure. Currently, the State of Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources, we do have snowmobile safety education courses that are offered throughout the state that you can find on our website. And then, that's anywhere from, 6 to 10 hours of classroom instruction, and then hands-on training with the snowmobiles to be familiar with ethics, responsibility, and safe operation. We also have a CD-ROM version for those that are like over the age of 16 or over that want to get the certification or just the added experience and education. We have a CD that they can take home, study. There's a test with it, and then they can take the course that way too.
So there are places to go and enjoy our snow machines. The state wants us to do it, spend money, but do it safely.
Correct.
And your job is to help us. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.